Kizomba and samba are walking dances. One of the things we often hear people say is, if you can walk, you can dance Kizomba, which is partly true because the barrier to entry in Kizomba is very low. It doesn't look like people are doing a lot of different and hard things like other dances. So it looks a lot more approachable, but it's not because the dance looks simple that it is easy to do. There's still some tweaks that you need to make to your everyday walk in order to be dancing Kizomba. This question and this explanation could work for any dance, but it is specifically true for Kizomba and samba. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome back to Kizomba Regina. I am Flanny, and I know it's been a long time. Well, first things first, Happy New Year. And I hope that you'll get so much more dancing, so much more adventures, lots of happiness for this new year. Last year has been such a roller coaster for me. There were good times and very bad times. I will not get into the details, but one of my highlights of 2024 in terms of dance was actually going to Kiz'n the 6th. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been, you missed out a lot because it was one of the best festivals I've been to in a while. But to come back to our question, when I went to the festival, I had the opportunity to help one of the teachers there in his class. And so we were going through some drills. While I was looking at the students, something kind of hit me. I feel most people don't know the difference between walking and dancing, especially when it comes to Kizomba, because Kizomba is a walking dance. It's still a dance, you still need to be dancing. So tell me, do you know what's the difference between walking and dancing Kizomba? If you do, great. I would love to hear your response on this question. You can write down a comment below and share what you think. But if you don't, I hope this video will help you understand what the difference is. To me, there are three main differences between walking, your everyday walk, and dancing. The first difference that you should be learning in class, but you often don't, are the mechanics. Learning the Kizomba walk. Because the way you walk in your everyday life and the way you walk on the dance floor is very, very different. And that's especially true if you are from a continent outside of Africa. The Kizomba walk is such a fundamental piece of learning and dancing Kizomba, but most courses do not spend enough time teaching that to students, especially students that are not from an African culture. So throughout my channel, I've dropped a couple of tips on how to do the Kizomba walk, but I'm actually creating a new course that will give you a step-by-step guide to learn how to properly do the Kizomba walk. Right now it is in beta version, only 20 people will have access to it, and those people will be able to provide feedback and to provide comments and influence what the final version will look like. So the link to register is in the description below, but also you'll find it in the little eye of this video. The second difference between your everyday walk and dancing Kizomba is your musical expression. What I mean by musical expression is listening to the music, connecting to the music, and then translating what the music is giving you into your way of stepping, the patterns you're using, and your groove in itself. Oftentimes, what I find is, especially people who are learning to dance Kizomba and haven't danced other dances, is that they want to pack as many steps as possible within a song, but often they don't even realize that what they're doing doesn't really fit with the song. One example I can give you that I often see with my, my beginner students is a song is starting, there's like a little bit of a melody, there's no beat, there's no lyrics, but they're already stepping, like doing basic twos, basic threes, corridinhos and stuff like that, when the song is really calling for you to do a basic one and to start connecting with the partner. Maybe do a little bit of tarraxinha, if you know what I mean, but, but the song is not calling for stepping so much, rather than connecting and giving a flow and a vibe to get to know your partner, and they're not feeling that. Or maybe they are feeling that, but they're not translating that into their dance. So they start stepping right away, and it just feels like there's a huge mismatch between what the music is telling you and what the person is giving you. So that's the second difference. The third difference that I see between your everyday walk and dancing Kizomba is your actual self-expression. In your everyday life, it's very rare to see people express themselves within the way they walk. For example, the difference between what is considered a masculine walk or a feminine walk, or then you can have different type of walks with people that are pertaining to certain groups. Pretty cool example that I can give you is if you've ever heard of the sapeurs in Congo, or those people that have like a sense of fashion that is out of this world because it's so good. What they're doing, their fashion sense, is a lot more than just clothing. It's like a whole attitude, and they have this way of walking that they call a jatance. And the jatance is very personal, like everybody doesn't have the same one. It really depends on the person, the accessories they're wearing, what they want to showcase. That is what they use to create their walk and have their jatance. Kizomba is a dance, and it's a method of self-expression. It's an art. And as an art, you have to express yourself. You have to infuse your soul and infuse your spirit and your flow and your energy into this art. You cannot dance the same way you walk every day. And so that self-expression piece has to come from you. And I feel that's what's missing in a lot of people who are dancing Kizomba, because we often say, if you can walk, you can dance Kizomba. Yes, it's true, but it's not only that. You have to give a bit of yourself or a lot of yourself into the dance. So that self-expression is literally what we call GINGA. And if you want to learn more about GINGA, you can watch my upcoming video on that. Or I also have a course where I teach GINGA routines monthly that will help you understand what GINGA is and explore your own GINGA so that you can add that into your dance. So those are the differences that you have between walking and dancing Kizomba when you're dancing alone. Then another difference is when you're dancing Kizomba with a partner, there's the whole aspect of connection. I'm not gonna go through it because I do have a video in the channel that you can go and explore with exercises you can do to practice that connection piece. So I'm super curious to know what you think about this video, and if you see any other element that I may have missed that would showcase the difference between walking in your everyday life and dancing. If you comment and I find that your comment is super interesting and gives me some food for thought, I will definitely highlight it either in another video or in a post. And remember, life is always better with GINGA. Bye! Ooh, by the way, talking about Toronto, I got this when I was there. If you go to festivals in Canada, you've probably seen this person. Is a very dear friend of mine. His brand is called Wasso-is Montreal, and he makes very nice clothing from African fabric. I will also leave a link to his social media in the description box below.